What is dynamic visual closure? Visual closure is the ability for your brain to fill in the gaps of any object that are missing. A simple example would be asking you what shape my hands are forming, and hopefully you can tell they are forming a triangle. Visual closure is an advanced visual processing skill that Google Reverse Image cannot do as well as my 4-year-old. Now, anything that is not moving is considered static. So we use visual closure a lot when we're reading. We normally, if we're a good, efficient reader and we have advanced visual processing skills, we do not look at every letter in a word. Instead, we should be able to look at the shape of the word, fill in the gaps, and then move along. Now that, of course, again, is a static example of visual closure. Dynamic visual closure is when we calculate the trajectory of where a moving object should be. So if we think of trajectory as an arch across the sky, we are closing in that dotted line of where the object is going to be, and then we can put our body into space to either catch the ball or maybe move our body out of its trajectory if we are perhaps coming up to a cross section of somebody walking. We don't want to run into them, right? So in the real world, we use this a lot anytime we're moving around other things that are also moving, so like driving or walking or moving around. But then we also use this a lot in sports. So in sports, a great example is batting, hitting a ball with a tennis racket, playing lacrosse, volleyball, hockey, soccer, a lot, right? So we'll just kind of go through this. So again, dynamic visual closure is the ability to close or calculate the trajectory of a moving object. The better you are at it, the less data you need, so the faster you can react. So a nice visual that I like to draw out for my patients is if we again have this arc, if you need this much data in order to calculate the rest, you're going to need this much time. And while that may not seem like a big deal, if you feel like you aren't reacting in enough time, or maybe you're making rushed miscalculations, it may be because this skill of visual dynamic closure or dynamic visual closure is not running or operating or developed as well as it should be. So requiring more data takes more time and can lead to a slower or inaccurate reaction. If we are actually able to calculate that trajectory in that arc with less data, we have an advanced or elite dynamic visual closure skills, then we can react faster. Now this visual is obviously for batting and hitting a baseball, but if we are competing against somebody for a moving object or for another moving opponent or teammate, then obviously if our opponent needs this much time to calculate where the object is going to be, and we only need this much time, it's pretty obvious as to who is going to react faster. So when it comes to dynamic visual closure, it's important to know that if you can calculate the trajectory of the object with less data because you have advanced processing skills, you will react faster and more accurately. Virtually all reaction time, so when patients or sports athletes are working on skills that improve reaction time, the most fundamental way to affect reaction time and improve it is to work on this skill. Because virtually all reaction time is based on the level of development of your dynamic visual closure. Before you can move your hands, your feet, your body, or anything, you have to calculate where you're moving. Hopefully, you can calculate this really quickly. So obviously sports, and this is not an exhaustive list, obviously sports that are affected include baseball, tennis, hockey, lacrosse, volleyball, football, soccer, basketball, pickleball, and really anything where you are moving and something else or someone else is moving. I hope this helped explain dynamic visual closure, and I hope you all kind of got something out of this video that's a little useful. Thanks. Bye.